Welcome to the Salt Circle Podcast. My name is Hank. With me, it's the advent of Ben.
You couldn't. It's you. Why couldn't I be? Last time I was a small mammal, and this time I could have been guardian of the universe, or at least the brave. But like a fucking
look,
Marvel character or something.
Sorry,
Ben the Brave.
The mistitling of Gamera 2 is distracting me too much now.
Advent of Ben.
Ben.
That's not me. That's the name of my movie.
Ben,
where I'm
tiny turtle.
Come on. Let me be a kaiju. I'll destroy
Revenge of
buildings.
Ben.
I'll
Revenge of
fucking.
Ben.
I will look. I'd be a great kaiju. I'd do like the little hops. I'd do it old school. Like ridiculous shit, you know.
Look, man, I watched a little bit of the behind the scenes footage, so I got to see Gamera versus a dude.
Yeah, the bit you posted on Twitter.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's like a dude in shorts or whatever.
yeah.
It's like the test.
The real battle.
But yeah, this is our wrap up of our Gamera series. We did the last 4 Gamera movies. The 90s trilogy, I think, goes into the 2000s. I don't.
Yeah, 2006 would be Gamera the Brave.
Gamera the Brave is the 4th one, which is 2006. I don't remember when Revenge of Iris came out. No, Revenge of Iris is 99. Okay, the first the 90s trilogy, 90s. and then the one made in the 2000s.
Yeah,
that haven't made any sense.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
There's Gamera Guardian of the Universe, Gamera 2, who the fuck knows what this movie is called, Gamera 3, Revenge of Iris, and Gamera the Brave.
Yeah.
So let's start with just talking about Gamera Guardian of the Universe, which was my introduction to Gamera. I was, at the VHS store, or I don't remember. It might have been. It was probably DVD by that point. I don't remember. I was at the Hollywood Video.
Ooh.
Rented movies, and it was playing on it was the movie they were playing in the place, and I was like, this looks like the greatest thing I have. What is this? Give it to me now. So I had them stop it in the middle of playing it and took it home with me.
Hell yeah.
And I was pleased. I was not disappointed.
Wow. That sounds like a better, honestly, like that would be a way better introduction than the first Gamera film.
You mean the ones that were on Mystery Science Theater? You think those are worse movies than Guardian of the Universe?
Generally, yes, but there are some things that I'm like, those
old ones have a charm to them.
Yeah,
they're definitely like this is no more kids Gamera. This is Gamera for edgy teens.
I mean,
this trilogy.
Look, they needed a fight that was basically I forget which Gamera film it was, but the one that was the film with the sword dinosaur that was like chopping up shit, right? And then he shoots like the ninja stars. They needed a fight like that. They needed just that fight, but with the badass like
Gamera didn't do any spins on a pole.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to get the gold. No, these they were very good. They're all blending together. I actually did take some notes. I should probably open those. I cannot for the life all of the fights, right? Those are fine. Those are like perfectly separated in my head. All of the shit with any people, it could be from any film. I can't. I think it's because for watching them, it was great because they kept like the same characters and shit. And it was nice just tagging along with them. But in terms of like going back and thinking about what happened in what film, like some events are pretty easy, but for the most part it's just a big old blur. Maybe because I like binged the trilogy in one go.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing I'll say is like, unlike when we were watching Godzilla, like the 90s Godzilla, like these were all directed and written by the same people. So like these, or not Gamera the Brave though. The first three.
You're telling me that Revenge of Iris and Biollante were written by the same people? I'm shocked. No?
No.
Okay.
The director of the Godzilla movie he went on to direct was Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack.
Gotcha.
That's the Godzilla movies that came out of this, but he did that. He directed that after he made these movies.
Gotcha.
And then he made the Death Note movies. After that,
you know, the next logical step in the sequence.
I think the writer wrote
All right. Okay.
Dot Hack Games
for this this episode's edition of Ben has a sudden idea for a money making concept that people are free to take as they wish. Death Note, but instead of the default method of death being a heart attack, it's Godzilla. It's just a kaiju attack.
That's pretty good. I mean, honestly, every kaiju monster fight should just be that one scene of that kid attacking the bread randomly in the grocery store in this movie. We're just like, that lady's goes,
oh, right.
This fish
Yeah,
is
okay.
expensive. And then the little kid goes, ah!
Yeah. Who's the real monster of the film?
Just like, yep.
He's
got Gamera fever.
I totally
Gamera
forgot
fever.
about that.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Gamera is from Atlantis, even though they found him in the Pacific, and they're like, don't worry about it. They're probably Atlantis is just a story. That's probably don't Atlantis. Nah, don't worry about it.
So I need to like. There was so much of this that I'm so bad at paying attention to the human portions of all of these films.
Mm-hmm.
Not you know, I was better at paying attention to the old ones because it was like ridiculous. I'm like, those kids are stealing a submersible vessel again. But this one, I'm like, oh, sounds serious. So kind of across all the trilogy, like Gamera was created by Atlantis to fight off another Gauss, which was also created by Atlantis, right? Or did I miss?
That's the theory. Yeah,
that's the theory. Okay. Yeah. So this is a strikingly similar plot, and now I'm curious as to like which came first. But one of my favorite power metal bands has like a pretty similar concept, like as their overarching story, and now I'm like, I think they came out. Their first album came out before Guardian of the Universe, but not by much. Just interesting. Like
it's also I don't think it's clear Gamera was created by them also until like the third movie.
Yeah.
When we find the Gamera graveyard.
Yeah, that cursed
failed Gameras.
Yeah. That was
a vessel that they had to instill.
Yeah.
Those are the failed vessels.
That fucking nerd cool guy, hacker man. He was just a vessel. Don't you see?
Uh-huh. I don't know. I liked it when Gauss was just a vampire.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was sort of yeah.
although the horrifying scene of when they find the Gauss nest and they're like all the half-eaten Gauss left over, that was pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, where they're
I
like
love how fucking gross the Gauss are in this movie. They're
they're
so
very good.
disgusting. They're very reminiscent to me of like Shin Godzilla's like tadpole
Dude,
form in terms of
that's
just
what
being
I
wet
was
and
thinking.
gross and
Yeah,
having
they're
dumb
fucking
eyes.
they're moist. They're moist
Yeah,
and they're
they're very moist, and they're like always making moist sounds when they're chewing on
yeah,
meat,
man.
and they move weird. Oh, I'd forgotten how fucking gross they are. Like, no
Oh,
wonder I love this movie.
it was very good. And like Gamera's design was fucking killer, dude. I
He
was
is so much more badass
I
looking
was
in these three movies.
all of the fights I don't think I've ever been like I noticed the fucking time, the run time in each film bumping from 95 minutes to 100 minutes to 108 minutes. They could have cut that out. They could have cut that shit out.
Like, Gamera the
Or-
Brave goes back down.
Well, is it that I don't think that counts. I was so fucking disappointed by Gamera the Brave after the trilogy. Like, I was really let down. No, the fights were there was like kind of again for other stuff that we'd watch. I wish that I had seen this when I was like a kid. You know, I would have lost. I suppose it was. Let me check my notes. Attack of Legion, where Gamera has that fucking chest shot. Holy
Oh, when he summons the
fuck.
spirit bomb?
Yeah, I lost my goddamn mind. It was like midnight and I was like a little bit tipsy. I'm just watching this like this is the fucking coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, that shit was so good. He's like blasting fireballs. Oh my god. The fights were so good.
I know. Like, all the effects work in these movies is so fucking
It's
good.
really good. It
That's why
has like
like, there's like 3 hours of behind the scenes on the
oh dude.
Revenge of Iris Blu-ray, and I'm going to watch all of it because
Fuck yeah.
it's so good. Because they, I mean, until Revenge of the Iris, where they start relying a lot more on CG, like, they're fucking building like these incredible miniature sets and like making these giant fireball explosions.
Dude, yeah. No, it was like it's really good. Like I was not expecting that of like a kaiju film from 95 or 96 or whatever.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, no, they're fucking great.
Gamera just
They're
is-
and because they're like the amount of the backstory stuff I did see that was mostly about Guardian of the Universe, or all about Guardian of the Universe rather. Like their focus was, what if Gamera showed up in the real world? So they were really meticulous about getting as many small details correct about the miniatures and stuff, and like the explosions. Like, they were really insistent about the explosions not looking like firework explosions. Like, they didn't want them to be flashy but fake looking.
yeah,
They
yeah.
wanted that good dark smoke and stuff. And like, just you like look at like the miniature stuff they made, like those offices as they get smashed, and like all the desks have like books on them and stuff. There's just like,
Yeah, dude.
oh, there's so much stuff.
It's,
And they
it's
like
really
that
good.
when they blow up Tokyo Tower, they had to do that 3 times before they got it right.
Unreal.
It wasn't just like falling apart correctly, and it took them 3 days because they could only do it once a day.
Why?
because they
Like,
had to
just
like
the
reset
time?
the whole
Oh,
thing
okay.
because they were like
Yeah,
blowing it up.
Yeah.
And also they
Man.
talked about how, like these cameras that they were using to get the depth of field they needed for the stuff to look real at the small scale.
Mm-hmm.
They needed like incredible amount of light. So like they like almost set their studio on fire just because they had so many lamps going.
Fuck yeah. I mean, it worked. It looked really
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
They
I mean,
crushed
it looked
it.
like a nightmare for the people in the suits.
Oh, dude. I can't.
Because they're
I can't
in
imagine.
those giant suits.
Oh.
They cannot see. They can't. They can barely hear.
Yeah.
They can't really breathe. Like they're in there in like a like a full onesie and goggles.
You just become Gamera. That's
Yeah.
why all the kaiju are smashing buildings and shit. They're just scared, confused, senseless people.
So just think when Gamera like and Gauss are like punching each other, that is two men who cannot see. All right, so technically it's a man and a woman because Gauss, the suit operator, was a woman. I also learned. For this movie,
really, it's not just a man and a woman. It's the two sweatiest people alive
Yeah.
in that moment.
I mean, I think the original Godzilla operator still wins because he literally almost died. For how fucking overdone that suit was.
Oh,
I think they at least knew a little bit more about how to do this kind of thing. By this point, so.
yeah. You mean to not kill actors?
Yes.
Yeah.
To not literally murder the person in the suit. Yeah.
Well, good for them.
Good for them.
We learned, well, maybe not learned. I'll say confirmed a spicy piece of information in Guardian of the Universe in regards to the overall Gamera universe. They confirmed that by seeing a creature, by having visual confirmation of a creature, you take priority over every single expert on Earth in regards to how useful you are to an operation. Well, when that chick was like, I'm new. I'm like, I'm not an expert or anything. And the dude is like, but you're the only one who's seen the creature. I'm just having flashbacks to that little pudgy kid in the chair, like swiveling around, like, yeah, he's a vampire or whatever the fuck. I'm like, come on.
Look, more information than anyone else. Everyone else is going to go
Sure.
out here like, I don't know if Gamera's real. I don't know. I'm skeptical.
And then we had our classic,
no.
like, what does this kaiju expert, what's her plan? What's her plan to take these things down? Like, okay, a baseball stadium. I'm like, there it is. I'm glad that amidst the more serious, for lack of a better word, the more serious tone, I'm glad that we didn't leave the stupidity behind.
Look, they had a decent plan.
I mean, I guess.
They got the Gauss into those cages. That's all I'm saying. They gave them meat. They drugged the hell out of them. They just didn't know that they had laser beams that could cut through steel beams. Gauss cut through steel beams. Confirmed.
Yeah, you know, the conspiracy groups online disagree, though.
Mm-hmm. The way they like charge their lasers,
Pretty good.
a lot reminds me about Shin Godzilla. Like I feel like Shin Godzilla took a lot from these movies in terms of like the way the gas, like it builds up with like the gas coming out before their laser fires, and then also just like the way Gamera has like additional powers in these first two movies, especially like when he pulls out his elbow blade and reveals that Gamera isn't in fact an assassin
Yeah.
from Assassin's Creed. He has the hidden blade tech.
I mean, who do you think Assassin's Creed stole it from, dude?
Just pull out a fucking knife out of his elbow and fucking checks Gauss into a building. Oh,
The dev team for Ass Creed, just like, what should Altair's main weapon be? Dude who saw Gamera the night before, like, holy shit, guys. It was really good. I love that they kind of, I guess the old films are kind of good about it too, but I really like that, like, they were trading fucking blows. I mean, across these films, like, does Gamera ever have a battle where he doesn't get fucking sliced and diced? Like, he's just bleeding.
That is Gamera's signature is getting the shit kicked out of him and bleeding everywhere.
Like, I forget which one it's in, but he like loses part of his shell. Like, part of his shell is just blown off and shit. I mean, whoa.
Nothing. Revenge of Iris, where he has to blow off his own hand, is clearly the best. Yeah. Yeah, no, because Godzilla is like, there's too much of a mystique around Godzilla. Like, Godzilla, to a certain extent, you want him to be unstoppable.
Yeah.
Whereas Gamera, who cares? Like, the military shoots a missile at him and he plummets to Earth.
Yeah,
he's
dude, the amount
okay,
of times that he fucking plummets is ridiculous. It's like half of his screen time. Oh yeah, just hero to zero constantly. No, I agree. Because, like, thinking about Godzilla and shit, like, I mean, even thinking about the incoming Godzilla vs. Kong film, I don't want to see King Kong win. He can fuck off.
No.
What's going to win? A giant monkey or an unstoppable nuclear god? If it's the monkey, I'm going to be upset. I'm just saying. I like Godzilla to be an immovable object. But when I watch Gamera, I'm ready for some blood.
He's a bleeder.
I mean, you know, it's like when I watch Godzilla, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like fully invested into what is actively happening, I guess. Like, I want them to bring me along for the spectacle that they have chosen. But when I watch Gamera, I feel like I'm like ringside, you know? Like, I want to scream out like, the steel chair. Like, that's how I feel about Gamera fights.
True. So we learned that Gauss is the perfect life form because Gauss only has 2 chromosomes or whatever. Doesn't have any leftover genetic material.
Yeah, some shit.
This is how you become perfection. You become a weird vampire monster. Perfect.
Yeah.
No evolution involved. Perfectly crafted life form.
I mean,
He's basically Mewtwo.
If it's that perfect, I feel like a perfect life form wouldn't take a shit like that, you know? That scene was it was no good. I'll be real with you. Like, I was eating, and it wasn't cereal, but, like, it was kind of worse. Like, I forget what it was, like quinoa and something. I don't know, but it was like leftovers. And I realized, like, as that scene hit, that there was an unfortunate synchronization of textures between the scene on film and what was actively inside of my mouth. So that was no good. That was cursed.
No good.
And she calls it, the chick has the audacity to call it a pellet. I'm like, that's not a pellet at all. Ugh. I don't even know.
But yeah, so The important thing is that this is all about pollution.
Yeah.
And that we too, in quote, we too are trying to leave a terrible heritage.
I mean,
Atlantis left a terrible heritage of kaiju, and we've created plutonium.
oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of forgot about the radiation stuff, but yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, I mean, mostly it's like about how the global warming has created a environment suitable for Gauss to live again.
Yeah, yeah.
But also plutonium.
The quote that I wrote down was, "We were attacked by birds."
Okay.
They really...
I quote... My favorite quote is, "The sun is no longer on our side."
that was a pretty good one. The sun is no longer on our side. Dude. Calm down. Jesus. A one-off fucking plan. Like, maybe they're nocturnal.
I mean, it was sleeping during the day, so they attacked it, and then it's like, but I'm up now, bitch.
Yeah.
It's not like original Gauss, where it's literally a vampire. It melts in sunlight.
Yeah. that was a good one. No, actually, okay, best quote from that movie, sure. I think best quote from the trilogy stands as I'll see if I can find her name.
It's not "You take care in New York. Now that place is dangerous."
Nope, it is Ayana Hirasaka saying, "I'm so hot." Before the fucking thing, before Iris goes full tentacle on her. That
I'm pretty
was
sure the best line is "Knife, do something."
Also very, very up there. We gotta. It's a close race.
There are a lot of good lines.
I actually, "Knife, do something" might be the best, just because he throws it and it just fucking bounces off the thing.
I just imagine, when he's gets hit up into the air after he's like, "Knife, help!" Knife. It almost does something, but not really.
Yeah.
That whole thing is amazing. But so closing out Gamera, Guardian of the Universe, that oil field explosion is so fucking good.
Yeah, man.
It's so big. There's so much explosion to it.
The explosions really kept going.
Yes.
Every single time that something exploded, it cut a little bit to a different part of the scene that had not exploded, and then that exploded as well. They did not hold back.
And then Gamera absorbs the explosion.
Dude, it was so
himself
good. It was so good
to deliver the final blast.
As soon as the fire started swirling around and shit, I was like, "Oh, here we go." This is what I crave.
Play on that explosion. It's so good. It's so ridiculous.
This is it's the same exact vibe as reading that Hulk comic. I was fucking all about it. Incredibly good.
It's an elbow blade. I was I'm on my feet. Oh, he pulled out the knife. But yeah, that's Gamera, Guardian of the Universe. We didn't talk about the psychic connection.
Yeah, that's a thing.
It's a thing. We had to talk about it because it keeps
rolling.
It goes through all three movies.
So, it's really easy to sum up. Some basic bitch gets a bead, and suddenly she's in Gamera's head, which is essentially providing really useless information, honestly. Like,
Also, when Gamera bleeds, she bleeds, which seems like a bad
yeah.
deal. Like if
Yeah.
any monster to get attached to, it's like, Gamera is a bleeder. You're just gonna
Imagine,
like,
yeah,
man.
you could have been attached to like Godzilla and become like an immortal being, but instead
Yeah.
you're just gonna get fucking diced on the regular.
Yeah. It's a good thing that connection breaks before Gamera blows up his own hand
Yeah,
for her.
and it's like she's not
Good for
even
her.
like what is the priceless information that she gets to deliver from this connection? He'll fight. He's coming. Gamera
Yeah.
will do it. Like
He's definitely gonna do it. Don't worry
she
about it.
she has access to the same exact information that any 5-year-old in the Gamera franchise also has. Also,
Yeah, but look,
speaking of,
you have to explain it. You have to be able to explain it.
there's no
Realism, Ben.
look. I realized I was gonna mention right off the bat. Where the fuck is the Gamera theme song? You know,
True.
how do I know that this is a Gamera film? And also, apparently confirmed in universe, Gamera hates children now. No longer a friend of children. I was not told that by any of the films, that he is a friend of children everywhere. So
No, I mean he saves that kid on the bridge.
that was like a collateral good deed.
No. Gauss fires a laser beam at them and Gamera blocks it with his hand. He saves them.
I guess,
And
but like,
it's literally two of our main characters and a small boy. That is Gamera saving a small boy and continuing to say fuck you to anyone else. With like the number of buildings he walks through in this movie.
that is true. Which one is that? Is that the Iris where it's like 20? He saved the city at the cost of like 20,000 lives or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, Iris is really the movie where they're like, Gamera like saves some people, but also he's killed a lot of people. Like like he's a good guy, I guess, but he's not like he's still a monster.
So he's a Marvel superhero, is what I'm hearing. At least from the cinematic universe.
He's not a human. He's not a person, too. But yeah.
Wow. I'm pretty sure Gamera is more human than any of us.
I don't think Gamera is emotionally tortured. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
I don't think he's conflicted.
I feel like he could be.
Internal confliction. He'll
probably
fight regardless.
No, he's probably faced with a bunch of inner turmoil.
Well, we don't see any of that, and we have an inside look at his head, and it's pretty basic. He seems like a pretty basic bitch, is all I'm saying.
We delved into Gamera's innermost thoughts, and what did we find? He gonna fight.
I don't know. It's like diving into the innermost thoughts of a dog.
I'm
Like,
gonna
yeah,
eat
he
this.
has
I'm gonna
thoughts,
take a
but-
shit and then eat that shit.
Yeah. We're good. So now we have Gamera 2, Attack of Legion, or Attack of the Legion, or Advent of Legion.
Yeah, there it is.
So the Wikipedia article says Attack of Legion. IMDb says Attack of the Legion. My Blu-ray case and the Blu-ray disc say Attack of the Legion. But the title card in the movie itself says Advent of Legion. Which I feel like that one should be the right one. The title card in the movie. But apparently not.
To further the confusion, how does this pronounce? The Godzilla.fandom wiki, Gojipedia, has Attack of Legion, but Wikizilla has Attack of the Legion. Rotten Tomatoes, Attack of Legion. Google Play Attack of the Legion. So, fuck knows.
Toho Kingdom has Gamera 2 Advent of Legion.
Oh.
And in Wikipedia also has Gamera 2 Invasion of Legion as an alternate title, which I haven't seen anywhere else.
It says literal translation, yeah.
Oh, literal.
I guess, but like that didn't come up anywhere else.
Nope.
Like even translating it didn't come up as that. So I have no idea.
I don't know, dude. I don't know why they all have attack, but the title card doesn't.
Yeah, that's weird. So Attack of Legion had some really good shit in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the chest shot came from. Incredible. Yep. My other two huge moments that I had to write down. First off, that Akira blast. Fucking great. Like, I thought there was gonna be, I think in a lot of kaiju films, at least ones that we've watched, like the city is like destroyed, but it's like parts of the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
That
so
city
they set it up. The first time, it's like, oh, this terrible thing could happen. Gamera saved us. The city wasn't completely obliterated.
Yeah.
But the second time...
This time, dude, absolute destruction. Just fucking... It was such a good... As soon as I saw it, I'm like, I recognize that angle. I know that scene.
The second time, when all our characters are far enough away that they don't die.
Yeah, yeah. And the other big one, which... I don't know. Like, the chest shot is so good, but it's a very close toss-up with Gamera, like, coming in hot, landing, sliding, and then shooting fireballs while sliding. That shit so was... Good. It was pristine. Like, what a fucking thing. Oh my god, it's so good.
So I have another one for you. When Gamera first shows up in this movie and they're looking down and they're like, hey, it's just dolphins. And they're all the little dolphins jumping in the water. And then Gamera comes up from below the dolphins. And it's all like this same CGI gif of dolphins jumping over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah. I have not watched them yet, but I downloaded the Mega Shark films, and I started them up just to see, like, because it was a hassle and a half finding and downloading them. And I started up the first one just to make sure it was all fine, and I ended up watching like the first 10 minutes or whatever. They reused the same whale footage like 20 times in the first 10 minutes. It's real bad.
Yeah. I really like how we have these monsters, and one of the first things they do is invade a beer warehouse and like drink all the beer.
Suck it down, Wisconsin style. Yeah, but
technically they're consuming all the glass, but it's like realistically what it looks like is they're getting crunk as hell.
I mean, the bit of all the bottles like getting sucked out of the thing. Yeah, real good.
I feel bad for the woman in this movie because she's always like, it's winter time and like she's in a heavy coat, but also she's just always in a skirt. She's like in a heavy coat, but her legs are basically bare. It's like, come on.
I mean, depending, like, I guess it's a brief digression. Maybe it's societal expectations. I see that shit constantly here, all winter. It's been like 2 winters now, and people are outside, big ass coats, and then completely like tights at best. like just bare legs, like so many women, and I don't get it. I'm out here freezing, fucking just cold as hell, and so many women around, just like bare legs, and I'm like, I hope you're doing this because you want to, and not because it's like expected for wherever the fuck you're going. Because goddamn, it's blistery out here. But yeah.
Yeah. So I thought the most serial and friendly part for you would be when Gamera gets covered in ants.
Oh, that's fine. I could see like people getting swarmed with ants. That like does nothing to me. I don't like, as you may recall, I don't like ants in my apartment. That's no fucking good.
You wouldn't want to be covered in ants physically yourself?
Yeah. I actually do sometimes still like, not nightmares, but I like shudder a little thinking. I still remember when I had my ant problem and I set up those a couple of traps, and one of them like I placed perfectly. Like I found where they were coming in. I just put the thing right there, and I still remember checking it one night, and I literally like I couldn't see shit because it was dark, and I turned on my phone flashlight. It was like hundreds and hundreds of ants like crammed into this little plastic trap, like just writhing. And I still like, I don't like that image. I don't like what I found that night. I should have just assumed that it would work.
But the giant ant trap they set up later in this movie doesn't do it to you?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Is it because they're human-sized?
And
not actually small?
I guess. They're
because
human
they're not
sized,
actually
they're like
ants.
aliens. They're not actually ants. Like, maybe it's because here's a far reach for you. I remember watching Honey, I Shrunk the Kids when I was little, and there was that big ant that was helping them, right? Yeah, and when that ant sacrificed itself to the scorpion, I fucking bawled my eyes out. I remember like teary-eyed, like walking, like couldn't even fucking walk straight because I couldn't see. I like went into the kitchen where my mom was, and I was just like crying because this ant died. So maybe in my mind, like ants are fine in general. I respect the hard work they do. Also, I can't tell you why, but when my brain inexplicably decides to go to imagining the feeling of like a mouthful of ants, it's not that bad. Like
weird.
Yeah. I got nothing for you. Like, it was Anyway.
Look, so we get Gamera covered in ants, and then that guy quotes the Bible.
Yeah, that was weird. It's
just you see a giant turtle covered in ants. Where else does your brain go than the Bible? I mean, really.
That's fair, honestly. Something inexplicable and kind of fucked up happening in front of you. What?
I will say
only scripture.
That also on the title card thing, they do make one of the kanji look like the cross at first.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Yeah, they make it like a little bit biblical or whatever. That imagery.
Yeah. I mean, look, the Japanese I've seen enough anime to know the Japanese like using Christian imagery for no particular reason.
Because it's cool.
Yeah, like the way we like use Norse mythology.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I like the Gamera's blood splatters on that building, and then they're like, "Oh, it's the blood of Gamera."
Yeah.
It's like every day. just seeing the blood of Gamera just everywhere. It's not that special to see it, honestly.
Doesn't even rain anymore. Just Gamera blood.
I guess I skipped over the train sequence where all those people get murdered on that train, like horror movie style. That was pretty good.
Oh right, I forgot. You know what? There was that scene was very good. There was a scene from the first from Guardian of the Universe where the train just tips over onto like 100 people and they just get smushed. Mm-hmm. That was good shit. A lot of good train sequences.
There's a lot of good train stuff in these movies, yeah. There's like a part where someone's looking at a computer and like what they're looking at gets like crumpled up and goes away, and I don't know why that happens.
I do not recall that at all.
It's just like the object in their window like just starts crumpling up and disappears. I don't know what was.
Because that's what the stock animation they got.
It's like part of the way, like everything is like electricity is all being messed with by Legion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And lighters are more intense. Like
the dude fucking lights it and it's like 8 feet high. Well, not 8 feet, but you know.
And then we have like, you know, our meeting of our scientists in the girls' room, and the dad is real like not comfortable with it, and then the girl reveals her secret booze. That's pretty good. Secret booze is pretty good. It's like behind her books, like you move the shelf out of the way, and then there's the secret booze shelf.
Hell yeah. A must for any modern facility. I'm trying to find. They also just called the big creature Legion, right? I'm not misremembering. They just called it like the big thing.
It's the big one, yeah.
Yeah. Had a really good design.
That thing is crazy. Like the amount of
very good
movable parts that they put on that suit is wild. That like it works.
Dude, yeah. All of the legs and like the
mandibles or whatever.
Dude, it's crazy. Oh yeah, and it's shooting its shit. Very good. That might be up there, like for so far in terms of like kaiju designs. That's definitely way up there. That's fucking really good.
It's all downhill from here.
You're not wrong. Yeah. Well, that's what happens. You can't just you can't keep adding on like 5 to 8 minutes of runtime onto your film and expect it to keep working out.
I think this is the longest one.
Yeah. No. Revenge of Iris is 8 minutes longer.
Revenge of Iris is longer. Yeah, you're right. Revenge of 8. No.
And it felt like it.
Yeah. This is the move. This is the one where Gamera's shell gets a chunk taken out of it.
Yes.
But also, it's like the notable thing I also feel like in this movie is like you got like continuity where like you're seeing the human characters from the last movie show up, which feels unique. Like even though like there was that one woman from that was in through the Godzilla movies, Psychic Girl, but like it's like a whole cast of characters that carry through these three.
Yeah,
it's just neat. It's like that's good. I like that. I just like seeing these same. We don't need new scientists. Don't need new experts who have to learn everything over again. Just bring back the people who who know the thing, and they could be the people who know the thing. That's fine.
Yeah. No, I really like overall I enjoyed that for a watching perspective.
Yeah. So Gamera gets distracted by the big Legion monster fighting near evacuating helicopters, and is then too late to stop the explosion in the city. He gets there right as it explodes in his face.
Yeah, he gets fucking dusted.
And he's just like a statue on his knees.
Well,
in a crater.
he's crispy, is really what it is.
Yes, he's very, very crispy. There's a meeting where all the there's a whole meeting desk. The military dudes are on one side, arguing, and our one scientist lady is literally the only person on the other side of the desk, and then she raises her hand.
Yeah,
I just thought that was very funny.
It had some. I mean, that's that's energy I can get behind. You've never, I don't know. Feels like that happens to me constantly. It's just from school, right? I guess people are like, "Fuck it." Let me raise my hand, and everybody else recognizes. I've been there. It's awkward, but it gets the job done. And it worked.
We get that. And it worked.
They called on her.
They did call on her. It's the way that whole shot is set up, that giant table.
Oh,
yeah, people in there. Oh yeah, this movie introduces Gamera's wing arms. His arms can mutate into jet plane wings.
Well,
or tortoise.
It's
arms.
like a sea. It's a sea turtle. Is what it looks like. Like just the fins.
But also, he instead of always spinning to fly, he's going around like a jet.
Yeah.
It's somehow they made him look dumber. Is what.
Fucking excuse you. It's cool as hell. I was all about it.
I don't necessarily say dumber is a bad thing, but it looks really silly. It's very funny. Very funny to me. What's this note?
What's your note?
Oh, right. So there's after they set up the trap for they figure out the signal that draws in Legion, because Legion thinks it's an enemy signal or something, this pattern of
the energy or
ultra
radiation or whatever.
Yeah, from neon lights or whatever.
Yeah, the patterns match up.
They keep huddling to and then all dying on. They set up the trap, and then the dudes are in the place, and one of those small monsters comes in, and a dude throws his phone at it to distract it, and then he walks up behind it and puts a gun, a pistol, right behind its head, on its neck, and shoots it. Just tries to cap it. Oh, it's so funny.
You skipped over when they're doing the little thing on the computer with the energy signatures, and they line up, and they're super stoked, but then the military guy he's happy, and he claps the guy's shoulder, and then he's like, how do we interpret this? Fucking excellent. This is incredible. What does it mean? It's just really good.
Because the dudes, he tells them why this is good, but then they're looking at they don't look the same at all. So he makes them look exactly the same, and they just overlay each other. It's oh, I understand. They overlay. That's great.
Yeah,
that's all they're responding to. Is you made the one thing overlays onto the other thing. That must be good. That must be important.
Yeah,
it's very funny.
They match.
Then Gamera charges the spirit bomb, which is the coolest shit in the world.
It's so good.
Like the energy coming off the planet. So he's literally channeling energy from the whole world. And then his like chest opens up and he fires out of his chest.
Dude, I was all about it.
It's so good. I guess I also skipped over the part where he like rips off our Legion's like forward spikes on its head, and then it's like laser changes into being like these red tentacle things that'll stab him.
The lightsaber whips.
Just
yeah,
the lightsaber whips that just go everywhere. They're pretty good, and that's all red energy.
Yeah, dude,
that shit's good. And then at the end, all the soldiers salute Gamera. Although it might not be all of them, but some of them salute him. It's
yeah.
Like, we salute you, Gamera. And that's Attack of Advent of Legion.
Yeah. I think these first two were easily like the peak.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even really very close. So moving into Revenge of Iris, like, it got a little better as it went on, but like one of my early notes, I don't know at what point, it's still a decent way in. I was like, this film seems like it's kind of up its own ass. Like, it's just doing a lot that seems it wasn't landing with me. Like all of this lore.
It's working to establish that we have this girl who hates Gamera in like the same way that everyone else has intrinsically loved Gamera up to this point.
Well,
We have to get like her backstory with her family being killed by Gamera, and then like her being a brooding teen, and then like raising it does literally the thing that then in Gamera the Brave, if she's raising this thing from being a small baby monster into being a fully grown monster.
Yeah.
So that has to happen, and that takes a while.
It takes too long.
Yeah.
Also, my note for her was name a dumber bitch in Kaiju, I'll wait. Ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. I did like the design of Iris. Like when it's growing and stuff, they did a pretty good job of making it like, at least to me, I found it like at times I'd be like, oh, it's kind of cute, but it was also really unsettling somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know. It struck that chord.
Just
with
in
me.
general, the monster effect stuff, like the CGI just looks like kind of ass. Like,
yeah, it's not perfect, but
like that stuff does not hold up well. Then this movie way more relies on CG for stuff, and that's disappointing because the last two movies were like peak practical effect monster movie stuff.
yeah,
And now we're like transitioning from that into bad CG. Like it's just a big come down.
mm-hmm.
But we do get the practical effects stuff that's here is still good, but also they do like digital shaky cam stuff on top of it, so even some of that stuff doesn't look as good as it should. I don't know. Gamera still blows off his own hand though, so that's pretty fucking top tier.
Yeah.
That's really my big takeaway. Is Gamera gets stabbed through the hand and it's like getting his blood sucked out, and he looks at his hand and he's like, "You're holding me back, hand." And just fires a fireball in his own arm and blows it off.
So good.
Also, we get knife do something. And the
Knife
guy throws the
do
knife
something.
at the
Yeah.
monster. It
And it
bounces off, like, slightly cuts the cheek of the girl. And then, like, she's like, "What's happening?"
Yeah. Knife, do something.
We get that one guy who's, like, the debris is about to crush him, and he goes, "Oh boy, is this scary?" Yes, and then he gets crushed.
Right. This was the one with edgy hacker man.
Yeah.
What an annoying character.
I don't know. Him and that woman who are like pro Iris, but also why? I don't understand what their deal is.
Was this the one where they had the video game that was like a full simulation of
their
like
Dreamcast game that is like data analysis of stuff?
Look, just hit the button and it will recreate an environment that could support Gamera or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Like clicks X once.
This is what video games are, right?
Look, there's mana.
Yeah. It's all about mana. What Gamera is. That's how people can communicate with Gamera. Until he severed the connection and broke all the rocks.
Such a weird thing.
It's pretty
I don't know.
This movie also kind of blue balls you at the end. With all the Gauss approaching Gamera, and they're like, he will definitely fight, and credits. You're like, come on. Come on.
So they do the credits. I actually wasn't, because I wasn't expecting. I really thought, like, I didn't, like, check or anything, but I assumed that there would be, like, for some reason they were going to dive right into the fourth film, but it didn't get, it got held up or whatever. I thought that's what Gamera the Brave was going to be.
No. I mean, it like... I mean, he fights like 4 Gauss in that movie.
Yeah.
At the start. It's not lots. It's not Gamera and the military versus all the Gauss, which is what they basically are like is about to happen. But my favorite thing about the end of this movie is the part where Gamera solemnly watches over our human characters perform CPR.
Yeah.
He's just standing there looking at them as CPR happens.
Yeah.
That was very funny to me. But yeah, I don't know. This one is a step down, but Gamera blows off his own hand.
Yeah, like some of the fights and shit still very good.
It's better than Gamera the Brave.
Not hard to do. I think well, no, it's a toss up. I really like the first scene of Gamera the Brave is pretty good.
It's
like
pretty good.
Old Gamera
He's fighting the Gauss
is fucking cool. Like a really good design.
And then he dies.
And then they fucked it all up. We spent it's like 59 minutes. It's like an hour before he shows up. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. He spends so much time being a little turtle. It's barely even a kaiju film.
But we get a little turtle flying around.
Okay, little turtle flying around is cute, but that's not what I'm here for.
We get a child literally asking, "Do you like turtles?"
I like turtles. Do I like turtles? Yeah, I like turtles.
We get baby turtle kitchen slapstick.
Yeah.
Like we walk into the kitchen.
That squeaking sound. Even when he becomes like big, they did to him what they did to baby Godzilla.
You're not wrong.
Manila or whatever. Like it's just such a shit look. Coming from the other films.
He doesn't look as bad as Manila. He doesn't have like weird fucked up teeth. He's more like 90s baby Godzilla.
Yeah, it was not great. And then I don't know, we went back to like the whole friend of children.
What, you don't love
bullshit.
Girl having heart surgery subplot? That's what you're here for?
No, I'm not. And I'm not here for
I
the
don't know.
human story, and that's all this was.
The thing is, it's like okay family drama. Like it's not what I want, but like it's not terrible. But it's so like, who is this movie for? To like
Yeah,
juxtapose that with like the monster stuff that we get.
and like
It's
the
just
kids
weird.
like hanging out, and it's weird. The fucking
It's like, because like we go from like, oh cute, look, there's a little cute turtle, and then like dude in the swimming in the middle of the ocean disappears, and just like a pool of like blood bubbles up, and it's like,
yeah,
who are you
dude.
making this movie for?
Yeah. Well, then all of
It's
the
like, it should be me, but there's too much like heart surgery drama for me, so I don't
yeah.
understand.
Well, and then like all the kids at the end,
The
like
relay race.
yeah, this sequence. Then like the military is coming towards Gamera or whatever, and the kids like do a human chain or whatever. Ugh,
What?
just run them
Okay,
over.
this is how
They're
this is
kids.
how I sum
They're
up
little.
this movie. This is a movie in which a small child gives a tearful speech to a giant turtle about not killing herself.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it on some top 10 speech compilation videos. So
It's like, Toho, don't blow yourself up. Don't do it. It's like it acts like that's always what Gamera is gonna do.
he's going with
The inevitable. The only way Gamera can fight is blowing himself up. It's like,
Well,
I think Gamera can fire a giant chest laser and kill the monster.
well,
Thank you very much.
they saw him, like sacrifice his arm to win the fight, and they were like, "What if that was just his shtick?" Or maybe he was supposed to like, I don't even know. In the beginning, like it does look
Look,
like
just
old.
imagine the you missed him fight off, like kill literally all the other Gauss, and then by the end there were like 4 left, and he was really tired at the start of this movie.
So what you're saying is we missed the coolest part of that
Yeah,
sequence. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
we need Gamera the Brave remake to really see, or Gamera the Brave Crisis Core maybe, to see the true.
Gamera versus Gauss, all out Legion attack, advent of turtle, something.
I did like the way they I like going back. I thought just went back to Revenge of Iris because I can't keep Gamera the Brave in my head. I was like, literally, it was a thought about like, I like this part of Revenge of Iris. Not we're talking about Gamera the Brave. Literally, my notes skip from like baby turtle slapstick to the relay race. Like,
Yeah.
we did the rest of the movie is just like, yeah, some of this like, there's like bad compositing on a lot of the effects. Like some of the miniature work is really good, but just the stuff around it isn't. Like the monster design is boring as hell.
Yeah. I mean, I took notes for the other films. I did not take notes for Gamera the Brave at all.
Yeah. It's not bad enough to skip, but it was not what I was like here for,
Yeah.
I'll say. Like
And
I was
actually-
looking forward to the trilogy, and then Gamera the Brave is unfortunately the thing that then comes right after that.
Yeah. Yep. But I mean, those first
And
two.
weird, Gamera the Brave didn't get a sequel.
Yeah, shocking. No, Guardian of the Universe and Attack of Legion are gems. They're the glowing beads of Gamera.
Look, as Roger Ebert said in his review of Gamera Guardian of the Universe, there is strictly speaking no need for human characters in Gamera Guardian of the Universe.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He also said Gamera is powered by farts in that review, so
Also not technically wrong. No.
yeah. He gave it three out of 4 stars. Called
It's
it
really good.
Precisely the kind of movie that I enjoy despite all rational reasoning. That's his opening line.
Despite all rational reasoning. I mean, that sounds like someone who enjoys Gamera the Brave. Oh,
Gamera movies are good.
They're very good.
Gamera is... There are a lot of them, but they get there.
Well, the old ones have their
their ups and downs. And the old ones certainly have their charm.
Yeah. I mean, the xylophone, though.
The xylophone, though. The greatest moment in cinematic movie history. Period.
Oh,
Next to Knife Do Something.
Knife, do something. I'm so hot. Gotta unbutton.
Unbutton shirt.
But just enough to reveal the rock.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Ugh.
The rock that gives her the psychic link to the tentacle monster.
Yeah, I've seen this one before. In my cartoons.
Gross.
Yeah.
At least the heart surgery went okay.
It could have not. I honestly didn't remember until you mentioned it. Actually, that's not true.
For the rest of the movie.
It's not true. I think just based on the fact that there's so many kitty parts, like, I could have. It's easy to call. Yeah. No, this was a good run of kaiju films.
Yeah.
A lot of good shit, a lot of mediocre shit. At some point, I gotta go back and watch Gamera Super Monster just to close it out.
To know.
I gotta know. I was tempted to do it with this one, but like, I was having trouble motivating to even watch these. Honestly, like at first.
Yeah. I just love Gamera Guardian of the Universe. Those Gauss, gross ass,
Very
gross
good.
things.
Yeah, the like weird like googly eyes.
Yes.
That's all you need for good kaiju design. Googly eyes and moisture.
and just oh god. All right. Let's end this podcast. Salt Circle Podcast at gmail.com. Find us at Salt Circle Pod on Twitter. Our episodes are hosted at anchor.fm/Salt Circle. And you can find us at Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Salt Circle Podcast. And I'm on Twitter at Comic Panels.
I'm not. I'm just not. Yay.
Yeah, peace.